Hi, everyone. This is Zoph. You are watching Simply SCAdian No Title Required. And I am going to hand things off to Lucas, my co-host, who is awesome and wonderful and amazing, while I go do geek girl stuff and make sure we're up and running. Take it away, Lucas.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Simply Scadian, no title required. We love it that you join us every other Thursday for this. We are in our fifth season. I just saw that we passed the landmark premiere of this. We actually started in January, according to my Facebook. So if you've been with us all along, great. If you're just joining us, wonderful. We love to have you. So if you don't know what the mission of the show is, the mission of the show is to showcase those people in the SCA who have not achieved a title yet. Maybe because they're on the path and they're trying to make it happen. Maybe because that's not really their path. They just kind of are enjoyable in the SCA. Yeah, you're I'm being flagged already, guys. Like God.
Um,
Okay.
they do have titles. They can be lady or lord or the honorable lady or the honorable lord, but they've achieved no other recognition like court baron, baroness, peerage, one crown, that sort of stuff. Go ahead,
All
Lucas.
those things. All those things. Always an apprentice. That's I'll be that forever. So um so I mean again, and like Joe said, we love those people. They are wonderful people that we work with in the SCA. They're very knowledgeable. They are taking us under their wing and whatnot. But a lot of us aren't there yet and have that knowledge base too. We want to showcase those people. We want you to see, as I keep saying, the people in your neighborhood, the people in your kingdom who have just wonderful knowledge in a particular subject area. So, first, we're going to throw it on you. We need more guests. Who is it that we should be talking to? And again, it can be in any area. I have talked to in the last 5 years some of the most interesting people I never thought I'd meet in all walks of life. I mean, we're talking to fighters and ANS people and whatnot. But the Vinters, I always go back to the vinegar. I made vinegar. It was fascinating. To blacksmiths and all manner of other things, just scholarly pursuits. Some of these conversations have been great. If you can, go back and watch us on YouTube, catch up on some of that. But reach out to us, whether it's on the Facebook page, whether it's to one of us personally, and let us know who we should be having on the show. All right. Today on the show, we've got and again, I'm psyched about this because again, it's a non-traditional area that I think people think don't consider when we talk about the SCA. So tonight we'd like to welcome to the show Dagmar Yollotli of Antir. Persona is a 10th century female Nahuatl noble wife, mother, and scholar. Her fun in the SCA comes from serving her community and chosen family, supporting other parents, that's important, and families in the SCA, studying and sharing all about Mesoamerican cultures, plus further developing her own persona. During her time in the SCA, she's a stay-at-home mom, two beautiful children, and operates a petting zoo during the summers with a hobby farm in Washington. So Dagmar, welcome to the show. Can't wait to talk to you about this. Just a horribly interesting area that I don't think that people think of when they think of the SCA, that it is a global thing. So I can't wait to talk about this. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I'm very excited to talk about this as well. Like you said, it's not something that we think about when you think of SCA. And in fact, I didn't even start playing in Mesoamerica until many years later. When I started playing in the SCA, it was all Greek to me. Well, I also started in San Diego in California. And so the weather down there is, it's a lot nicer. And so we wear chitons all the time.
All right, so the first question we always ask, how did you find the SCA?
Well, so this is a fun story, in my opinion. I was living in this really cool campsite, actually, in Temecula, California, in wine country. And these campers every weekend would be new campers, and they set up a huge medieval uh, marquee tent, and we're just having a family camp out in these big, beautiful medieval canvas tents. And I was like, what is this? what is going on? And in the morning, I heard the kids all crying and lamenting that someone had forgotten the maple syrup. And you can't have campground pancakes without maple syrup. And there are about, I think, seven or nine little kiddos running around crying about syrup. And so I grabbed my syrup out of my pantry and I ran down the hill, eager for my opportunity to ask. And I have syrup. And by the way, what are you guys doing? What is this? Tell me about this. So it was actually um, my friend to this day, Lavinia from Kaid. And she said, well, we're in this group called the SCA. And we do this thing all the time where we go camping and we kind of just reenact medieval times. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. When's the next one? And she invited me out to trying to remember, Highland War in Kaid. And I think that was in 2011 or 2010, 2011, 2012, one of those years. And so I just, knowing nobody but her, went out there, and right away she saw me in the parking lot. And anyone who's been to an SCA event and knows how it is when you're arriving, it's kind of busy and chaotic, and everyone's greeting their longtime friends and kind of getting together in their camp spots and groups and hollering and shouting everyone's names. And some people are in garb and some people aren't. And I was just amazed and blown away. So Lavinia invited me to hang out with her and her kids all day, and that was great. And I didn't have a tent and I didn't have a way to camp, so I was going to go back home. And I said, "Well, I'll come back in the morning. It's only a 2 hour drive. I'll come back in the morning." So I did, and stuck around and ended up meeting some of the people in the Myrmidon household there in Kaid. And they were actually very gracious and kind. And I'm a military brat. My dad was in the Navy. And so a lot of these guys were in the military, and I just felt very comfortable around their campfire. Them and ended up going back and going back and going to another event, and fell in love with the SCA.
Awesome. So we kind of talked a little bit in the green room, everybody, before the show. Now Mesoamerican is something we do want to talk about, but you said you didn't start playing Mesoamerican. Did you like jump on the European thing, when you first started?
I did for sure. I mean, the Myrmidons are Greek, and everyone. The thing about the SCA that I loved was the sense of community and village. So I was gifted garb. I was gifted things to put on and just encouraged to please come back. And it really doesn't matter what you're wearing. He just put this on and throw this on, and great, come hang out with us. So I didn't really start with any kind of interest in a persona. It was really kind of just establishing a place in the community. Um, and so I did that in some Viking garb, and I did that in some chitons, and I did that with some cloaks, and made it work for a while.
So what drew you to Mesoamerica?
Well, so actually, it wasn't until I moved up here to Ontier. Um, I moved to Ontier and realized that um, it's Viking, very Viking culture, very Eurocentric up here, or was at the time when I moved here. I moved here in 2016. Um, and I, again, new community, new friends, was gifted a lot of warm, warm Viking garb for the Pacific Northwest, coming from California. And then I was inspired by someone who was a good friend at the time, and he was doing his culture, and he was bold and beautiful and different. And um, I wanted to do that. We had gone through and done our background check, and I'm Mexican. Sorry, my culture is Mexican, and so um, when my family did their um, what do you call it, ancestry.com, um, we came back with the basically the Spaniards and every culture on the way, and then very heavy on Aztec blood. And I was like, oh man, I need to dig deeper into that. How fun. And the SCA is the perfect platform and opportunity to geek out on that. Um, there's so many resources with so many people in the SCA. All these other scholars were, hey, can you send me that article? You have access to that. Can you shoot me that? Or hey, did you hear that? Or by the way, I'm going down this, you know, rabbit hole of discovery. Shoot me anything you know about that. And that's kind of how it started. And I was just very, very excited.
How did people take to that? I mean, again, kind of being outside the standard realm. How was that transition like that?
I'm so blessed to be in Ontario. My local community was so supportive. Um, I'm also a big personality, and I don't think I would have taken any negativity. I don't think I would have um, sat well with anyone being not okay with what I'm doing. I'm a warrior for inclusion in real life in SCA world, and so thankfully I surround myself with people who are very welcoming and very inclusive. And so when they caught wind of my excitement, it just grew in my friendship circle.
Would like to interrupt. I'm gonna throw this out to the chat because you're blowing up on the chat in a way I haven't seen with a guest in a very long time. You got a lot of supporters out there. Guys, if you're on the chat, I'm gonna try to put those questions in where it feels like appropriate to drop some of them in. But this one is it's actually the person that just came in. But I feel like it's a good place to put it. Is there something you tried in the SCA you never thought you would?
Oh, a lot of things I've tried in the SCA that I never thought I would. So many opportunities to craft and to make. Um, I even combat. I'm not a fighter, and just hanging around friends. It's like, well, yeah, I would like to throw. I would like to throw that knife. That would be great. Um, and then I tried brewing. I've tried. I'm not really a maker. I've tried sewing. I've tried dyeing, natural dyes. Yeah, anything that a friend of mine is enthusiastic about, you can probably get me to try it with you.
So what stuck? What have you kept doing? Because we're all in the SC, I think most of us try things and then we find out what sticks. So what stuck?
Um, honestly, for me, what I don't even know how to say it. I make community. I build community. I cook, and I create an ambiance. I think is what people would say, and it's a welcoming, inclusive space where you can be. So that's what I take from all of this. If I'm going to go to a class, I'm going to pick up on how they're teaching that class and how they're welcoming people to that class or how they're maybe not welcoming people to that class. And I'm going to note that and do things different. When I put on events, I want to make sure that um, everyone can do something, or try something. So that, I guess, the dabbling is taught me to create an atmosphere.
So you mentioned in your bio about still developing your persona. What has that process been like? And two, where are you with your persona story?
My story is pretty set. A noble Aztec woman, scholar, priestess. Uh, the research is still in progress. I will say the one thing that is very difficult is kind of wading through the mud of what is available for me to learn from. My resources. It's it's really great being connected to other people across the world, people in Mexico, these direct resources. Um, but a lot of the time, it's trying to get past the offense while reading material. And the images are great, and some of the facts are right, but wow, did you have to say it that way? That's So that's been probably the toughest thing. And then sorting through what is what is true and what Europeans and colonizers thought it was. Um, and that's been tough too. Again, and the other thing too is in the SCA when you're trying to compete and you're trying to present these resources in certain arenas, I feel like the SCA is still catching up to some of the resources and some of the materials and um, things that I have and are available to me. So,
This one also comes from the chat. Seems like a good place to put it. What's the coolest project you've kind of taken on during your Mesoamerican research?
oh, I've got some fun ones. The natural dyeing day was really great. We actually got some cochineal bugs from the cacti, and we were able to make a beautiful fuchsia pink with some natural woven fabric, and then marigold, um, and create a beautiful yellow. So that was an all-day adventure and um, a memory I'll cherish forever with a couple of my girlfriends here in the kitchen and at the farm. Um, and that was great. Currently, I'm about to build up a warrior's grave. So an Aztec warrior's grave for the West Coast Artifacts of Life event coming up. Um, and that one's pretty exciting because I think a lot of people, when they think Aztec, this is kind of what they want to see and hear is these warriors with feather headdresses and feathered shields and blood and hearts and sacrifice and battle and Aztec death whistles and yeah, so gearing up to do a really cool display for that event.
Um, so somebody asked, and I think it's again a good place for this. Um, so you're researching it. How do you sift through that information to kind of, decide what's propaganda, what's colonizer information versus what is real? And how do you kind of make those distinctions? And what kind of resources are there?
Yeah, yeah, it's tough. It's really hard. The A lot of times the initial thing is language, the language used by the writer. If I'm reading something and they seem very um, there's a tone. You can read a tone when you're reading a piece. I've learned, so I do speak Spanish and read Spanish. It's it was my first language, is now my second language. So I found that having to go and find actual articles from Mexico. Um, I have a really good friend, Arieli, who it met through the SCA. She's not in my kingdom, who is an excellent resource as well. And um, yeah, it's tough going to the actual Mexican museums and um, talking to the curator. I mean, it's an email and it's a question and it's a hey, do you have any other photos of this piece? Can we see it in a different way? I've followed some people who are active um, scholars down there, and they're able to do museum tours on TikTok, and I'm able to go and look at those museum tours as if I'm actually in there. So yeah, kind of sifting through, and it's usually not the first thing that comes up when you instantly search.
So,
Actually, I'm pretty sure that Arieli is where these a lot of these questions are coming from. I believe she's on the chat. So
Here's
hello
one of
to
my
you.
great sources. Hey girl, thanks.
so you are wearing an absolutely beautiful outfit. Can you tell us a little more about what you're wearing?
Thank you. This huipo was embroidered and gifted to me actually from Her Grace Ashaxi up here in Ontario. Her mother went to Mexico, and so this piece, I believe, is from her trip in the 40s or 50s down there. So very special to me. I'm only wearing it in the house right now for this.
Have you had a chance to go to Mexico?
I used to go all the time when I lived in San Diego and Calexico. I went to Mexicali all the time. Um, when I was a kid, I definitely grew up with wasn't very proud of being Mexican, I guess, in the early 90s. Didn't really want to speak Spanish so much, was teased a lot for speaking Spanish, and I wanted to be white. I wanted to be like all my friends in housing, and um, I didn't take any opportunities that I had at the time when I was down there. So I would love to be a tourist of Mexico now. I have a goal to go back um, and do all the touristy things. I would love to go to the Yucatan, and actually, probably the quickest way to do it would be to do a cruise and just do all of the sites on the way. Yeah, it's a dream.
Gotcha.
So in kind of going into this now and whatnot, how do you reach out to people and kind of educate them about what you're doing? I mean, do you do a lot of A&S, or do you teach classes? How are you kind of reaching into the SCA, kind of letting them know about this uncharted area, really, for people that it's available?
Yeah, like I think I said earlier, I'm a pretty big personality, so if you're around in Ontario, you're at an event, you probably will run into me or hear of me. And usually the best way is I just love chatting to people and geeking out and walking up. And my favorite thing to do is, whatever you're good at making or whatever your jazz is, let me talk to you about the Mesoamerican version of that. And did you know that actually you could make this really great cup with your pottery skills
Oh,
for hot chocolate? Would be cooler. And oh, you're into obsidian. Well, that's great. You should try flinting, um, fletching. How about an atlatl? So that's my favorite thing to do is yeah, reach out and figure out what you're into and make it Mesoamerican.
that's awesome. Do you know Sir Ish from the Mid-Realm?
Maybe, probably.
Bo Ring is his
Yes,
modern.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's he represents the Aztec culture in the
yes.
Mid-Realm where I'm from.
Yeah, he and I have had many chats. Yeah,
Good. He's cool. He's
yeah.
awesome. He's a really great guy. Um,
Nice kid.
yes.
I'm supposed to ask you about Peruvian mummies.
They're rad. Um,
Uh-oh.
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 This
Dagmar.
is why we play in the SCA, guys, because you know we don't freeze. You don't. We this is not our jam. We're gonna get it right back, guys. If you're still on with us while we're waiting for to figure this out, first of all, just welcome. There are so many of you that have signed on today. And hopefully it's because you're a fan of Dagmar. She's great. Um,
And if you're in Ontir or another kingdom, please send us a message. We'd love to have you on as a guest.
yeah,
She's coming back,
she's coming back, guys.
I think. Maybe. Do we have any
Tina,
other?
yeah, Tina, you're right. She said it's the mummy's curse. We brought him up, and
I know, that's what it was. Well, to entertain our viewers, I will say that I did go to Tulum. I've been to Tulum, Mexico twice and got to participate in an Aztec sweatshop ceremony, which has a special name, but I can't remember what it is. There you are, Dagmar.
Hi, sorry.
no worries.
Video is still got. There you are.
Mount,
Yay.
mountain interwebs. Apologies.
I imagine another friend of yours, Sarah, says that internet gets spotty on the mountain. So
All right, so we were talking about Peruvian mummies. We were about to dive into that.
Yeah, I had just done a chat about how the Wari would go and kidnap your mummies. and include them into their places of worship so that you would just join up with them. Yeah, sorry, that friend was commenting on a display I had done at a recent, what was it, at Collegium. I had done a chat.
So what can you tell us about them?
Oh, sorry. So, um, one second. I'm sorry.
Her family is home, so she's probably got a kid who needs some attention.
Yeah.
And speaking of kids, she does have um two kids. Clark was born in 2019 and Zephyr was born in 2024. So Zephyr just turned 2. I remember that age.
Yep, me too.
Welcome back.
Hi. Hi. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I'm here in the living room now. I had to move to the living room to have better service. So we are with the full family. Um,
No worries.
yes. So we want to know about the mummies. They Warri culture would go and instead of it was more like a corporate takeover where they would instead of using direct violence kind of see what you were doing, um, take your mummies, which Peruvians would mummify their ancestors or people of importance to them, their children if they were lost too early, um, and would include them into their places of worship so that you would go and visit them. And I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Uh, my children. I'm one moment.
Yeah, no worries. If you're on the chat, if you have some more questions, I'd love to hear them. Um, we're gonna get to that. Somebody asked a question about on tier events, and I'm gonna get to you. So don't think I forgot about you. You're there.
And this is the thing about real world always comes first in the SCA, right?
Well, it's funny if you were here early enough. We in her bio, she talks about helping people in the SCA who are parenting, and that is a big concern. I know, bringing children to an event is both a wonderful thing to try to include your kids in your hobby, but also it's a challenge. So maybe we'll talk about that when she
Yeah,
gets
I
back.
was I was um I was minister of youth in the mid realm for quite a few years when my kids were younger, so I get it.
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah, put my hair up. We're gonna move on. If we have, if we can move on, the kiddos are gonna want me here in a second too. I'm sorry.
That's
Oh,
okay.
no, that's fine.
Cut this short and come back and do it another time if it's easier for you too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would like to keep talking a little bit more if we can,
Okay.
because
sure.
I told them I'm doing a thing.
We were just talking about in your bio, you talked about helping out people with parenting and being very community oriented with the SCA. Um, what do you do? Do you bring your kids to events and are they a part of it? And
Yes, yeah. So the kiddos come with me all the time. A lot of everyone in Ontario should know my kiddos, Clark and Zephyr. Um, Camping with kiddos is kind of a difficult thing, even mundanely, and so to do it in the SCA, it definitely takes your whole village. I know that there's a lot of parents who pause their SCA fun and career to get their littles to a certain age till they feel that they can jump back in again. And I haven't really stopped yet, um, but I do realize the difficulties in having your kiddos at events with you. Um, it takes it takes a lot of planning and it takes a lot of work with your partner, saying, hey, I want to do this. Hey, I'd like to do that. And if you don't have a partner and you're a single parent, even more reason you need your village.
Right, right. So did you meet your husband in the SCA or outside of the SCA and drag him?
I
Hi,
I
Zephyr.
did. You can say hi, Zephyr. Your aunties are on here
Right
too,
on.
and your uncles. I did actually. So I came out to Ontier West War, and I saw him fighting. He actually hurt my friend's arm pretty bad, and was very chivalric and very honorable. And they had a lovely conversation. And I was like, "Who's that?" And then it wasn't until many years later and many fireside chats later that we ended up reconnecting, and I um, moved out here to be with him.
Yay. Um,
Wonderful.
just let us know if you need to go at any point,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw you another one from the chat since we're talking about Ontier. What is
Yeah.
your favorite Ontier event?
My favorite on tier event is on tier West Ward. That one is amazing. We take 5 or 6 days to do it. The event site is gorgeous. um you have literal forest trees meeting the beach and the ocean. You escape reality for real. I don't think there's very good service out there unless you have Starlink, so it's wonderful. The creek, the classes, the camaraderie, the village, just setting it all up for a good long amount of time. um I love to decoratively lounge. I'm very good at decoratively lounging. And so to be able to set up my full household for all 5 days is very fun.
Now, are you still a member of the household that you joined when you lived in Caid?
The Myrmidons, I would like to say I am very, very friendly with them still. I don't consider myself a member of any household other than my husband's household right now. The Myrmidons of Caid and the Myrmidons of Vontier are still my brothers and sisters for sure. Hi.
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 Okay, we're going to take this moment to just enjoy Zephyr.
Yeah, Zephyr. You say hi to everybody. She just started farm school too.
Oh.
Wow.
So Zephyr, actually, I was live streaming 12th night in Ontier because my good friends were being crowned, and I was giving birth to her.
I,
And she's one of my SCA projects too. I should mention, um, because I wanted to study Mesoamerican Aztec midwifery. So when I ended up pregnant with Zephyr, I did a deep dive into Mesoamerican midwifery, and I had a I had an Aztec pregnancy and an Aztec childbirth, and that was I should have said that was one of the coolest projects instead of dying. Yeah, having my baby was one of the coolest projects.
What are the differences between,
yeah, I'm
tell
like,
us more about Aztec
yeah, I was like,
midwifery.
I need to know if that was,
There's not much difference between modern day midwifery and Aztec midwifery. Midwifery around the world is taking care of women. I think that's good to note. The value that the Aztec culture put on women and on pregnancies, and the I mean that made a huge difference. So the quality of care, the maternal fetal health was just higher and better, which was why the Spaniards were so interested in it. And then if you look at the Mendoza Codex, I believe book 6 is where I found most of my resources, because he was just obsessed with Aztec midwifery and followed her around. Um,
What is the Mendoza Codex?
that one it was written by Bernardino Sahagún. Actually, not written by him, written by Nahuatl scholars, but he was in charge of it. Um, Bernardino Sahagún. Tycoon. Um, and that one was commissioned for uh, the Spaniards. And um, it's called the Mendoza Codex. Um, it's mostly about Aztec life, some of the tributes, medicine, food. It's a really great resource, actually, written and illustrated by Nahuatl scholars at the time.
And it's written in Spanish.
Yes.
What
Hmm.
time period does it date back to?
I think 1572, 1571, 1572.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's actually all of the images are incredibly beautiful too. If you haven't looked at that, I mean, literally Google Mendoza Codex and just images. It's amazing. But yeah, so a lot of the things I did were, steam baths. We talked about going into the steam sauna room. I had a midwife and I had a chiropractor because the Aztec midwife would have been both. And so, um, by calling around and kind of built my team of healthcare workers that would have acted as one Aztec midwife. Um, and then I had her in a birth center. I know she didn't want to go. I had her in a birth center that allowed me to have my midwife and other um, important peoples with me, and I was a bit more ceremonial in my birth, um, using different positions that I had researched, and techniques. I was able to have an obsidian blade in the room, but he didn't get to cut the cord with the obsidian blade.
Hmm.
Um,
Just wanted to share one of the images from that for people watching right now. So this is just one of the many beautiful images that Dagmar mentioned. So I'm flipping through them for everybody.
yeah, that very first one is. I mean, a lot of these are just lists of taxes paid.
Oh, wow.
So that's another great resource of as far as persona building. Yeah, this first one, this is great. You can see the types of fabrics, cloaks given, the shield, the feathered shield, the full skin suits for warriors. Yeah.
Fascinating. Thank you.
Hmm.
Everybody go look that up.
How elaborate do you go with your garb? I mean, I think the perception is, people know what they see in film and what media kind of feeds them. Um, but like how and like do you have a specific like year that you're trying to fit, or is it just the culture in
Um,
general? Like how narrow is that focus?
my focus isn't very narrow. I really try to include a lot of different Mesoamerican garb because I'm trying to expose a lot of different Mesoamerican cultures. So, Peruvian garb or Mayan garb, Aztec garb. Um, it's it's kind of similar if you initially look at it, but um, you can see the differences in researching and the style and the way that it was worn. Um, but yeah, my goal and my point is to just bring exposure. Period. Um, I don't know anyone else really. I think there might be one other person in Ontario doing Mesoamerican, one or two other people maybe in Ontario doing Mesoamerican garb. Um, I need to connect with them better, I think. Um, but yeah, that basically just the goal is exposure. Um, yeah, I'm not really a maker. So I usually, like I said, the people who do know how to sew, I go, "Hey, let's study this garment together and dissect this. And would you want to make something like this for me, please?" Um, and so that's kind of how I've been building up this my closet of garb.
Gotcha.
Somebody wants to go back real quick. I'm supposed to ask about the birthing woman warrior journey.
Yes. So in Aztec culture, in Mesoamerican culture, it is believed that when a woman gives birth, she is journeying into the Mictlan, into the underworld, to bring that life forth. And so the woman must prepare for battle. So she is treated as a warrior headed into a very dangerous battle. And if that woman did not make it, did not survive battle, and died in childbirth, then she was revered as a warrior, and she would go to the same heaven as warriors who died in battle would. Um, Midwives were trained to protect, because oftentimes women who died in childbirth, as they were taken to be laid to rest, warriors would try to take parts of their body to use as talismans of good luck, for when they went into battle, because women who died in childbirth were the fiercest. Women who successfully gave birth were badass warriors. Um, so yeah, a midwife was trained in all of the things. And yes, I ventured to the Mictlan twice and was successful in bringing back life.
And you're done now, or are you going to try for
Oh,
more?
I'm done. It was good. They were epic battles for sure, and we're good.
Yeah. I was done after two myself. I don't, Lucas has three kids, so of course, he's the guy, so he didn't have to
Yeah,
do
I
all
don't
the
do
work.
anything.
Uh,
My wife baked three beautiful, wonderful, elaborate cakes, and I lent her half a cup of sugar.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Like I just,
yeah. I know. Whenever anyone says, "Oh my gosh, she's so cute," "Oh my gosh, he's so cute," I go, "Thanks, I made them myself."
yes. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll let you get back to your family.
Thank you guys. I'm so sorry about that, but thank you guys for
No,
understanding. And
that's
that's
okay.
SCA with kids.
Yes, it is. All right. We have been talking with Dagmar Yollotli of Antir. Did I say it right?
YOLO, everyone, just YOLO.
YOLO, Dagmar, YOLO. Thank you so much for being our guest. And if you ever want to come back on, just send me a message and we'll shoot for this again.
do a
Yes,
part two. I
definitely.
think that'd be fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, all of our Antier friends, we'd love to have you on the show too. So just reach
Yeah.
out, let us
I
know.
can we do one of those like viral I nominate next?
Yeah,
Can I
totally.
nominate next?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna choose which one. I'm gonna choose. Give me a minute. I'll nominate on the online.
Okay,
Okay.
let us know. All right,
Cool.
everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hi, Dagmar.